the second earring. This is a pickleball paddle with a pickleball. You can use this pattern for tennis or racquetball, so it is fairly versatile. It's a right angle weave, so you have some dimension if you use the right angle weave. And we're using 11-0 Delicas in gold and white. Of course, you can use any color that you'd like. And a 3mm crystal, a closed jump ring, and an earring hook. Now, I like to start my right angle weaves off with the actual floor of the right angle weave, of the first box. You could use a tool such as this, and I have another video that shows how to use these tools and how to start a right angle weave. But I'm going to show you how to start with the floor. I don't like the videos that start with 4 boxes and then you try to put them together and figure out which sides you still have to connect. So let's get started. We'll pick up 4 gold beads and we're going to bring them down and leave enough of a tail just so you can get a needle on it to finish it up at the very end. And we're going to go back through those same 4 beads and tie them together. And I'm going to turn this around so I can get to the next. I can go up this last one and bring this through. And I'm going to pull on both ends now. All right, so you should have 4 beads like this. You want to keep the thread tight, because if your thread isn't tight, you're going to be able to see it once you're finished your finished piece. So like a regular right angle weave, this is the floor. We're going to add 3. Go in the other side from the one you came out of. And pull tight. Go through the next bead. Add 2. Go through the one you just put on, and then the one you just came through. Repeat, go through the next one, add 2. And now I'm going to pinch this. See these 2 beads together? I'm going to pinch this together. So this is the floor bead. These are the 2 walls, and these are 3 of the top. We have to add a 4th one. So I'm going to go through this floor. And I'm going to have to come up the wall. Now I need to add 1 more on the ceiling, and that'll become the floor of the next row. So we'll come down on the other side of the wall and pull tight, and we'll go back through the floor, and we'll come up on the wall. And now you can actually see the 4 ceiling beads, which will become the floor of the next row. So we're going to go through 2. We want to reinforce these. So we want to go through 2, these 2, and then I'm going to swing around and pick up the other 2. The next 2. Pull tight. And I like to go through this one more time to close the circle. All right, so now we actually have our square, our cube. It's hard to see because it's so small. It'll become more apparent and a little bit better after we get another row or 2 on. So I'm going to pinch this right here, and I'm going to add 3 beads. This is the second row, or as I like to say, the second box. And we're going to go through, and then we have to add 2, pick up 2 and go through the last one and the one we just came out of. Go through the next one, and we're going to repeat. We're going to pick up 2, and we're going to go through the last one and the one we just came out of. And now we're going to go through the last floor bead, and we have to go up the one wall, and we add 1 gold bead. That's a little small, okay? Add 1 gold bead, come down the wall and through the floor. I'm going to do this in 1 step there. It's a little easier to hold on to. So now we have our second row or box. We're going to come up the wall, and now we need to go around and reinforce the ceiling, which will become the floor of our next row. So we'll do 2, and then we'll come around and do the next 2, and then we want to do 1. Okay, so now it's pretty easy to see the 4. So we'll pick up 3, and we'll go through, and I'm going to be quiet because I want to put this on fast forward. Now we're ready to start building the racket, and we're going to be building up the center, and then we'll put on the one side and the other side. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is now we're going to get into a pattern. So I will either put this in the description or try and get it across the screen as we start building. So we want to pick up a gold, a white, and a gold. And I'm just going to go through very quickly so you can watch. I don't want to spend a lot of time on each step like we just did. And there'll be some parts that I won't say anything so I can speed the video up when I actually make it. We're at the very top right now of the earring. So what we want to do is we want to reinforce the gold, because as I said earlier, when you're on an outside row, you want to make sure that you reinforce that outside row so it looks nice and clean. So we're coming around, and the last bead. Now we're going to start with the side. In order to do that, we're going to have to do an right angle. We're going to have to angle the right angle. So we want to start, however, not at the top here, but we're going to start at the next white bead below this gold one, because this is going to, the corner, this is how we're going to get our curved corner. So we're going to come down this white one, thread, follow the thread path, and this just went through 2 beads. I only wanted to go through one, and then go through the center. And now this is going to be the new starting point for this side of the paddle or the racket. So as with any right angle weave, we start here, and we're going to have to put on 3 beads. So this calls for a white, gold, and white, and we go through the white bead here. We start with our 3. Now we want to go this way because we're building a side of the paddle. So we want to go through this bead on the side. Now next we add a white and a gold. So we're going to go through the white one we just added and the one we just came out of. And now we'll go through the center, go through the next one, add another white and gold, and we go through the white one, the previous bead, and go through the center where we just came out. And now we're going to go around, down through the bottom, up through the white one. We add the final gold on the top. Through the bottom. Now we're going to come up this one side. Now we're going to add a corner. The corners are going to be gold beads that go between this white one and the white one next to it. So you have to be coming out of the top of the bead, the outside of the bead. And we're in the perfect position now. So we're going to pick up a gold. And we're going to go through the white bead on the other corner, 90-degree angle. And we're going to come back up that one we just came out of, the one we just started with. And that makes your angle for the corner. And we're going to go across. And at this point now we can close up this outside because we're right here. So we might as well take advantage of closing up the outside. We'll go across. Now we have to add one on the other side, but we're not going to be coming out of this bead at the right side. So we're going to have to come down and up. And now we pick up a gold bead. Now we can come back through the 2 white ones and add our corner. Now the corner has to also be secured. So we're going to want to go through this gold bead, the two that we just added. We're going to go through each one separately. So we get down, pick up the one in the bottom. We'll come back up. We'll go back around. And now we're going to weave our way over to here. So beads coming out this way, which means we'll have to go in this direction. Now we're ready to add another row or another box. All right, next box. Now these are all going to be top beads. So the three that we're going to add here are actually going to sit on the top. So we want 3 gold. And now we want to come down the white bead. So we want to follow the box round. So follow the square. So this bead would be the side. We have to go through the bottom. Now we need to add a white bead. And it's going to go through the gold one on top. So if you take a look, when I turn this down, that'll be the top bead. So when I pull this around, that now will make a square right here. And that'll get tightened up when we add the next row. So we're going to go across, and we have to do the same thing and pull a thread tight. We have to do the same thing on the other side. So that means that we're going to have to come down and go across, go through the next side, pick up a white bead, go through the gold one on top, then come back down through the white. That made a nice little box. All right, now we're going to make another corner. So we're coming up, and this is the perfect spot to make the corner because we're on the outside, and we're going to connect from this bead over to this one. So we need to pick up a gold bead, and we're going to go in the gold bead and come back through the white one. And you can do it in 2 steps if you can't get them through. So now we've come up this white bead, and we're going to go down the gold one that we just put on and across the center. Now we'll have the same problem we had before. We want to connect these 2 beads, the white one and the gold one, but we're not going in the right direction. So we're going to go through the gold and then the white. Now we're coming out in the right direction. So now the white bead, tail keeps getting caught. Okay. All right, we're coming out of the top of the white bead, and we're going to grab a gold bead, and we're going to go through this gold one. And we'll go up the white one. And now we have to do the same thing that we did before, we have to go through both this gold one. We have to tie the ends. Now, I don't want this bead to drop to angle into this one, so I'm going to go around one more time. So they'll all be square. There we go, that's better. Now we can come down and pick up the angled bead. We'll go down the center, back up, and across. All right, now we have to build the second side. So in order to do that, we're headed towards this white bead here. You have to work in a square. You can't just dash across, although it's nice as it would be. Okay, there, we're back. All right, now we start with, we're going to start with another right angle weave stitch. Now we pick up a white and a gold and a white. And we're going to come through the bottom, regular right angle weave, and we pick up a white and a gold, and we go through the last and the one we just came out of. We want our golds to be on top now, and we go through the next, and we pick up a white and a gold, and we go through the next white, through the next white, and we finish off with a gold. Now, just like the other side, if I come back round and up this white bead, I'm ready to put my corner on. So I'm going to do my corner. I'm going to pick up my gold bead, and I'm going to go between this gold bead and the white one I'm coming out of. It's kind of like doing a right angle stitch, but only with one bead and in a triangle. Instead of doing the actual four-sided box, you're doing a triangle. And as long as I'm here, I'll go round. And we have to go down to come out the right side. And I'll pick up another gold, and we have to do a little triangle, do our corner. And we'll connect all four. Okay, tighten that up. And now I'm going to weave my way over to the other side. There we go. Now we're at the other side. And just like we had in the last row, or the last side, we're going to have to add a side of, or the 3 top gold ones. So we pick up 3 gold. And we're going to bring that through. And now I'm turning it around so I see where the thread's coming out of, and I can bring that down. And we have to come across just like the last one. And we pick up a white and we go through the gold. And then we're going to come down again. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to go through this bottom bead here to get to the other side. And now I can go through the next one. And we'll go through the gold. Then we'll come round again. I'm going to go round the 4 gold. I just pinched them and they fell into place. All right, now we have the same problem we had the other side. We're going to have to go down and around before we can put our gold bead. So we go down and around. Now we can put the gold bead on because we're coming out in the correct direction. Go across. And I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'll go down and around. I'll put on the gold bead. Now remember, I also have to close up the corner. Now I'm positioning in the center. So I'm just going to make sure some of these beads are straight. Sometimes you got to take a little needle to them. That looks fine. And they look fine to me. All right, so now we'll need to put our ball and our ring on. I'm going to put the ring on first, then we'll drop down and put the ball on. So I'm going to go through this ring, and I'm going to go through the bead on the other side. And then I'm going to come back and go through the ring on this side again, and go through this bead on this side. And then we're going to repeat that process. We'll come back here. We'll go through. We'll go through the ring, and we'll go through the bead. Okay. So I want to get the ball between here and here. I've tried putting it off to the side in a couple of different places, but it was hard to find two spots that you could insert the ball without. I just did two. I didn't want to do two. Let's start again. It was hard to insert the ball without the thread showing quite a bit. So let's start by going down. I'll pick the two of them up here. Now we're going to have to get the thread to come out on the inside. So that's going to require well, what we can do is we're going to go around this way. All right, so we'll come around and we'll start from the other side. Go through here. And then we'll go through the top. Okay. Getting the thread in position is one of the bigger challenges. What did that get caught on? Oh. You want to go through this side. Now we'll be ready. And we go through. Now I'm going to have to turn the thread back round so I can get through in that same direction. So in order to do that, I'm going to come up here. I just want to do two, make it strong enough. So we've come down. We want to go across. And that's the bead behind where the bead's going to sit. And we'll follow the same path that we had before. I get this a little tighter because I'm seeing a little more thread here than I want to. So let's see if we can pull that up a little tighter. And we'll go through. There we go. That's better. Yeah. now I'm just going to weave this thread through so I can cut it off, and then I'm going to use this thread to make this a little bit tighter, and then we're going to cut that off as well. So let's come down. I'm going to pick up just a thread. I can pull that tight. And now I'm going to come through here. And I'm going to go to the back side of this so you can actually cut through. There's a bead between these two on the inside. So we're going to push through. And now I can finish off on the back side. Okay, we just need to finish this off. All right, so I'd like this bottom to be a little bit tighter. So I'm going to drop down to this last row. And come round again. I'll bring up here. And now we'll do the same thing. I'm going to find a couple of spots to bring the thread under and make a loop. I'm going to go backwards because my needle's pretty large. I'm running out of thread. And then I'm going to do that again. There we go. Just having a little, now I have too much. Couldn't pick up one, now I have too many. There we go. There we go. Last stitch and the thread gets all tangled. And I just want to run it through 2 more beads because you don't want to cut the thread where you made the knot. All right, now we're going to add the second. There we go, nice and tight. We're going to add the second hook. Now make sure these actually need to have a direction. So we're going this way. So make sure when you add the second hook, you're going in so that the ball will be towards the front. I don't like to open, oh, there we go. All right, so the ball will be towards the front. And I'm going to just close this. I hope you like it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And pull them down a little bit better so you can get a better look. So please like and subscribe.